The cloud is touching down. At the beginning of last year, the Lord began to speak to me about the start of a reformation that was coming to the body of Christ through a crazy and ecstatic movement of believers that would embrace the wild things of His kingdom. Over the past year, we have seen much change as many are catching a hold of their identity, union, and the power of the indwelling of Christ. There's not a day that goes by that I don't meet a person who is so drunk on this message that it spills out of them like a flood. Especially new believers that have given their lives to Jesus over the past few years, and this message has become their daily drink, and for this I am truly grateful, since so many longtime believers still haven't gotten a hold of "It is finished." With this message comes greater boldness to declare and demonstrate the power of the gospel, and many are beginning to understand that it is not them, but Christ in them demonstrating the power. So with great joy, they are releasing the power of Christ without effort all over the world. We are truly living in awesome days, and I'm excited to see what is ahead for our generation. We have gone so far out that we can't go back. A fresh reformation is upon us, and the way we position and posture ourselves will determine the lasting impact we have on the body of Christ in the days ahead. The cloud is touching down. But with that being said, I want to share with you an encounter that I had a few weeks ago that really tilted my grid and shifted my paradigm for what I believe God is asking for us in this hour. During a time of prayer, I was taken into a trance, and suddenly a flash of light streaked into the living room where I was sitting. I believe that we are at a very critical time in our generation as revelation is being released from heaven on us, and many of these reformers and revivalists are coming out of the cloud of witnesses to release their portion to this generation. If there is one thing that we can learn from the life and ministry of a man like the great ones, it is this: a true reformation takes time and doesn't come without a price. You must be willing to give everything despite the outcome in the end. What we must understand is the weight of our words and our decisions will determine the legacy that we leave behind for those to follow. The truth is, our actions affect so many people more than we realize, and the way that we go about causing change within the body of Christ must not be taken lightly if we truly want to affect generations to come with the message that God has entrusted with us. So often when truth comes that brings freedom, we think that people will embrace it wholeheartedly and change immediately, but it almost never happens that way. People say they love change, but the truth of the matter is that they only like it when it fits into their understanding and structures they've created. When something comes along that literally undoes teachings that have been set in place for hundreds of years, we can't expect everyone to embrace it immediately, but understand that time is on our side. The pioneers of the past opposed the church on several issues, but was willing to try to work and explain their positions to the leadership within the church at the cost of their reputation and life. We must be willing to do the same. So many times the easiest thing to do is leave, start our own thing, criticize and then lash out at church leaders when they fail to understand the truth that we can so easily see. The true test of a reformer is when you are willing to put your life on the line for what you believe and stand and take the reproach in front of the council. Reformation is defined as the action or process of reforming an institution or practice. Everything that Christ paid for comes without a process, but Reformation still has one. And if we really love Christ and His church, we will be willing to take the journey that so many other reformers did, even if that means we will get burned in the end. I believe that God is calling us to reformation from the inside out, not the other way around. And we must be willing to work with those that may, at times, misunderstand us or even persecute us if we want to see this message reach beyond a small stream of people and go to the ends of the earth. I'm willing to take the chance despite the cost. Will you?